Okay, I know it's not a hardtail, but today we're testing the trussed fork. I know we're not on a hardtail, but you can't test this fork on a hardtail at the moment. This is the trussed shout fork. That's so cool looking. But just because it looks cool doesn't mean it's worth buying. So we're gonna go see what it feels like. I'm on a Yeti SB150. We're gonna look for the biggest things we can smash into on here. So right now it feels a little bit stiffer. I'm gonna move this. Feels a little bit stiffer than like a traditional telescoping fork. This fork is meant for charging, not for cross country like this. I'll be the first to admit this is the wrong trail to test both this bike and the fork out on, but it is what it is, and here we are. It definitely feels stiff and sturdy. I think this would be so fun to try on a hardtail. Feels really good on technical climbs. My steering doesn't change. This fork is meant to be ridden standing up, charging down stuff, not sitting here pedaling along on an uphill. I will say Yeti gets it on this bike. This is a medium, the long reach, and I love it, and a short seat tube, so I can get a tall dropper in there but still slam it down out of the way and have a lot of room to move around on the bike. This fork feels awesome in corners. You normally get a little bit of dive in corners with most forks. This stays supportive. It also doesn't rebound as fast as a telescoping fork. So if you use rebound to like spring you back up, it's gonna feel a little different. It doesn't erase the trail like a traditional fork. Which is why I think it'd be really fun on a hardtail. You could feel everything. That has felt the least sketchy all morning. A lot of it because of the geometry of this bike. Nice slack head angle, long reach. But that fork does gobble it up. It also doesn't rebound the same way a telescoping fork does. So when you come off a drop, it's more like a trophy truck. When you watch those jump and they land and don't just bounce right up. When you land, it stays planted and doesn't bounce straight up again. Also, this thing wants to keep rolling over things. It keeps its momentum well compared to a telescoping fork. Yeah, definitely not as squishy as a traditional fork. I mean, you can push on it and the wheel moves a little, but it doesn't squish like normal. The goal is to keep your momentum going. And I feel like the front doesn't dive as much. It kind of feels like a telescoping fork with 20 psi too much. until you start getting cooking. Then it comes alive. Or you hit corners. It feels so good in corners. It's cool because it's supportive. And like when you pop off a bump to get air, it doesn't blow through its travel. So if you like a squish, smooth, fluffy ride down trails, I don't think this is the fork for you. And the faster I go, the better it feels. Oh, and those corners. Best cornering fork I've ever felt. Oh, that's the first time I've come through those corners with that much speed or confidence today. I'm getting a little more bounced around on the small stuff. Not out of control bounced around, but I'm feeling it more. It's transferring it to my body. I think I'd be more tired on a day riding like the whole enchilada. I do think that's the trail where this would really open up though, or Ahab or Portal or something. Steep and fast and chunky. I mean, it's a 170 fork. You're not going to put this on your XC race machine. Okay, this is the corner I've been blowing all day. Man, this thing is magical in the corners though. I feel like I need an engineering degree to explain what's going on in this fork. I don't quite understand it all. But the way I would describe its feel is the geometry of your bike doesn't change. When you're in a corner and you hit a bump, your head angle doesn't feel like it gets steeper. It doesn't really bob, it gives you something to push into. So the guys at Trust said when you ride this fork, stand up, knees slightly bent, in attack position, because that's what it's meant for. And here we're gonna take it on the smoothest piece of trail in Moab, sorry. Man, it corners so well. Part of that's because I've been on steep head angle bikes all day. Oh yeah. It pops up good. It corners really well. Never felt anything like that. I never realized how much my other forks dive in the corners till you ride this. Oh man. I'm taking corners that, without braking, that I've been braking on all day. That's fun. Definitely more feedback into the hands and arms. What a feeling though, that cornering. That cornering's tempting enough to want one. Oh, corners so well. Part of that's his bike, but a lot of it's his fork. Man, that is amazing. Sorry, I wish I had the language to describe what I'm feeling. It feels like riding a rigid fork bike on a BMX track. How you can just lean right into the berm and it supports you. It also feels like your geometry isn't changing when you turn. I'd love to take this on a big burly trail. I feel like I've only used half of the travel on this. Oh, I like it. This bike feels like my hardtail, but with rear suspension. It's so cool braking, you don't feel brake dive either. I actually think this would be the perfect fork for my middle child, because the middle child feels bumps too. So while it won't be plush, anyway, it might be a good match. Oh, could you imagine railing corners on a hardtail with this fork? So it doesn't feel tons plusher than the Message to me. In fact, it feels just like the Message, but with more reserve in it for big hits. I thought it'd feel a little squishier. Oh man, cornering 10 out of 10. Plushness, 5 out of 10. It's not a plush fork. It's not meant to be. Playfulness, 9 out of 10. It doesn't, you have something to push into, like off the lip of a jump will feel awesome on this, but it doesn't explode with rebound like a fast rebound fork. So when you use that to pop it up for a manual or stuff, it doesn't pop up, it doesn't push you back up. There's nothing like it, you gotta try one. If you want cush, downhill, plushy pillowness, this is not it. If you are an aggressive rider who wants to feel the trail and really push into corners, you gotta try one of these.